Have you ever struggled with connecting GregTech wires? Did you know you can waste your resin by cooking it into tar? Would you like to go from doing this to doing this? If you answered yes or no to any of these questions, then hang around and watch me bumble and fumble my way through the latest installment of Nomifactory, Episode 6. Hey everybody, last time you saw me, we were setting up an infinite fuel farm using sugarcane, and we knocked out a few new machines, an LV energy converter, and an LV battery buffer. Since then, I've done a bit of off-camera work as well, taking care of a few quests starting with the LV power storage one. The ask here was that I needed to craft some small battery hulls, and for this I needed battery alloy plates and some tin cables. The battery alloy is crafted using 4 lead dust and an antimony dust. I had some antimony dust already on hand because I had found some stibnite when doing one of my mining missions, but I was short for my final one. Utilizing Nomi-Nickels, I was able to purchase 32 ore for just 4 shiny coins. Not a bad transfer rate. With my battery hulls in hand, I had a choice between 3 different battery flavors: chocolatey cadmium, salty sodium, or licorice lithium. The difference between them being their available energy storage, which I've got on screen for you to see right now. While I'm not much of a fan of lithium, it is 120k storage, and so that's the route that I did decide to go on. But alas, I had no lithium available. And like a dark night rising to save the day, our currency companion swooped in to save me, because just like the stibnite ore, you can buy lithium ore with Nomi-Nickels. In this case, spending 2 of those shiny shekels returns 32 ore. With battery buffers behind us, the obvious path was through the Sulfur quest. A quest that pointedly states we can only get sulfur ore out of the nether, and you can only go to the nether with nether cake. Cue the coin commando, because this quest basically demanded that I spend my precious Omni coins. And for the extortionate price of 2 Nomi-Nickels, I got another 32 sulfur ore. This smelly sulfur substance was then used to transition us down our quest lines and into the Flux capacitor quest series,
Great Scott!
Gaining us the celebrity attention of Dr. Emmett Brown. He gave his obvious approval of our first RF storage bank. Combining 1 sulfur dust with 2 lead ingots, 1 copper ingot, and 3 redstone dust yielded our first Flux capacitor. And this quantum contraption can store an astounding 10 million RF. Therefore, logically, I made 4. Having that in hand, it was time to test one of my theories from our previous encounter. Would the battery buffer be able to refill our RF storage devices? Indeed it does. The buffer will charge right up. It also charges other things like our ender sword, which was really quite nice. But why do we need all this RF? I mean, 10 million times 4? 40 million RF seems a tad excessive. Well, I also completed the Fluxo-magnet quest, which is exactly what you think it is, a magnet that will pull items into your inventory at the expense of RF. Basically a miner's best friend. This bauble was quite economic, only needing 3 iron ingots, 2 lead, and 4 redstone dust to craft, while coming complete with a 40k buffer to perform its functionality. But at a max RF capacity of 40k, that's hardly enough to warrant a need for 40 million in power storage, right? True, but that's what we did last time. Let's talk about what we're going to do today. I want to fly. So it's off to the think tank where we're going to plan out our route to flight. Now, obviously, the ability to go airborne makes most things a lot easier. The first step to taking off is going to be a leadstone jetpack. That jetpack is going to take 4 main items: a flux capacitor, a leather strap, lead plates, and thrusters. Everything but the strap and the thrusters are old news. The strap will be on the cheap as well because it only requires 2 leather and a steel plate. But the thrusters are the problematic part here. They need a combination of a steam dynamo, lead plates, red alloy plates, redstone reception coils. And the challenge is that redstone reception coil. It requires 3 electrum rods, and those can only be crafted by making a material inside of an alloy smelter using a combination of gold and silver ingots or dust. Now I want this alloy smelter, and along with it there are some other machines that I need to consider for an improved overall efficiency in our progress. Those would be the wire mill, the bending machine, and the compressor. Like the alloy smelter, all of these will take LV machine hulls, tin cables, probably some copper wiring somewhere in there, amongst other things. But these machines give back crafting components at a much better ratio than what we're currently getting. The alloy smelter recipe is actually probably the easiest of the machines I'm considering, as it's all stuff that we've done before, so I could zip straight to this. But I'm going to heed the advice of the Putting It All Together quest, which mentioned that we might want to focus on a wire mill and a metal bender first, as this is going to make the crafting of wiring and plates much cheaper. I definitely like that idea. So let's start turning some wrenches on this plan by looking at the wire mill. Most of its components seem pretty basic. The new addition here will be the LV electric motors. And these little things seem to be used a lot in what we've looked at so far. So batch crafting them may be our friend here. The new component is the magnetic iron rod. It takes 4 redstone dust with an iron rod to make, so not difficult in the slightest. Next, if we consider the bending machine, it's only one step above the wire mill. There's those LV motors again, but here we'll need to take 2 of the 4 LV motors and upgrade them into LV pistons. Those 2 LV pistons each require either steel or wrought iron plates, gears, rods, in addition to some cabling. So while we're aiming sky high with our goal being to fly, I'm going to go the route of efficiency and start off with these LV machines. Wire mill, here we come. Being mindful of time, I'm only going to make a couple of the subcomponents here on camera, those being the magnetic iron rods. And with those done, we can use them for our 4 LV motors. From there, we'll need some electronic circuits and our LV machine hulls. The machine hulls we've made before. We just need to start off by making an LV machine casing with some steel plates and a wrench. I'll knock a few of those out because we're going to need them anyway. Then if we add some cables and a bit of wrought iron plate into the mix, we'll get our machine hull. Now it's back to those circuits. These little buggers are going to annoy me. In fact, they're likely to annoy me a lot, but it is what it is. I'm running a bit low on rubber, so let's go ahead and make some more.
Future JD here. This mistake will come back to bite me.
Righto, old chums. There's our final circuit we need. And with that, we have everything that our wire mill requires. I'm just going to go ahead and hook this bad boy up to power, and we can start making wires. Very cool. If I put some tin in here for the low cost of some EU, we're going to get back 2 tin wires. Now that's really good considering that before it took a plate, which cost 2 ingots, and that plate only gave us 1 wire. This means that now we're getting 4 times the throughput off of a single ingot in terms of component processing. I'll take that all day long. Why is it not working? Why is there no power filling the machine? Bro, are we out of power again? Yep, we're out of power. Let's go grab some fuel.
This is Houston. Say again, please. Houston, we've had a problem.
I really need to take care of this soon. For now, I'll just restock these hoppers and we'll get item pipes in place to manage this soon enough. Power has been restored, so let's get these batteries in here just to give us a bit of a buffer. And all systems are go on the wire mill. As it lights up, coming to life, my excitement is growing. We're producing wires. This is awesome. It feels really good, man. Our first major efficiency win. Next on the list is the bending machine. And this is going to be almost the exact same recipe. I'll have to take it a step further though and turn 2 of those LV motors into LV pistons instead. Tar. Why tar?
See? I told you this would come back to bite me.
Well, I guess that's what happens when you cook resin, you get tar back. Or maybe it was those noblins again. I don't know. I mean, there are uses for tar, but that was by no means what we wanted. So since I've just wasted some resin, let's start a resin farm. A few rubber saplings out here will do just fine. I'll check back on this later. In the meantime, there was a juicy chest I saw not far from the base, so let's go get that. Now, normally I wouldn't be bringing you guys along on this type of quote-unquote adventure, but look at the loot, boys and girls. Black quartz, pulsating iron, red alloy, and electrical steel. This is the stuff of legends. A treasure only worthy of a true hero like myself. For now, I'll just scoop this up into ye old bag and we'll be off. Safely back at the base now. I gotta admit, I'm pretty impressed with that chest. The black quartz we can use for something very cool. A storage crate keeper. I think I want to try that recipe out because a storage crate that I could pick up while maintaining its inventory intact would be awesome. I wouldn't need the chest movers anymore. At least I hope not. All right, we're going to try this out. So let's grab a crate, and then we just need a few wood planks and some iron for this chest keeper itself. Wood planks are over here. Then let's grab some iron from there, and we're off. I'll place the crate down. Let's get our crafting table on a stick out and put all of our ingredients for the keeper together. I'll need to rotate these real quick, just like that. And now we have a storage crate keeper. Now, how does this work exactly? Do I click on it? No, that doesn't work. Do I need to pick it up maybe and craft them together? Let's try that real quick. I'll break it and put the two in a crafting window like this. Nope. Okay. Can't put it on top of it. All right. I'll admit, I've never used one of these before. I think I know what it does, kind of, but I've never actually used one. So let's just stick it in here, and then we'll break it, and yeah.
Future JD here, and I found this out later. Yay for me. So my storage crate keeper is now gone.
What just happened? All right, whatever. Enough sulking. Let's get back to it. I did end up getting enough pulsating iron to potentially make some pulsating wires, which would lead to item conduits, right? I'm going to do that instead. I'll just check here, and it says we can put them in the mill, and... Wait. That says Greg Tech, so hang on. Okay, I see. I can't put them in here, but we can come back to this later. For now, let's just go ahead and get some regular old item pipes, and we're going to use these to move fuel from our storage drawer into our dynamos, because I'm really tired of this thing running out of power. Just need to get these hoppers out of the way, and then hook the pipes directly into this. There we go. Then if we bring these two together, well, that's not going to work. That's definitely not going to work. But that'll work. All right, cool. So we just need one more piece to make this a complete system, and that is the cover. To be able to extract items out of the storage drawer, you need some form of a cover. I'll probably use a conveyor for that, but I'll get back to it in a sec. For now, let's continue crafting the metal bending machine. I've got everything ready to go except for the pistons. Those require either steel or wrought iron. The material will be used to make plates, rods, and a gear. We'll then combine that along with some cabling and our LV motor. So I'm going to go with wrought iron because it's one less step in the processing of metals, and I've got plenty of it. And once I plug the motors in, there we go, I've got two pistons. And that was the only real difference between the bending machine and the wire mills in terms of constructing the block. Now I can pull out the bending machine. Awesome. I'm going to set this bad mamma jamma down. Right here looks good. Actually, probably not, because right now we've got to be able to get power to this. This means the wire mill will have to move as well because I've only got one output from the battery buffer. It's time to start making cables. I have no idea if you can safely pick up Greg Tech machines using your pickaxe, and I'm extremely scared to do it because of a prior experience, so I'm going to be using my wrench to move them. A little 4x10 wire wrapped in some rubber to get our cabling. Then if I plug this in back here, it should hook everything up. Why didn't it hook up? Okay. Well, why don't you hook up? All right, that's annoying. Maybe with a screwdriver? No, no, and no. Okay, this game hates me, I swear. What? All right, I'm just going to pick up the machine and hook it up like this. All right, that works. Great. So now I just need one more piece of cabling, and I'll pick up the bender. I'll put my cable down here and set the bender back down, connecting it in the process. Very cool. Let's get our first plate. And of course, we can't get a plate. Why can we not get a plate? Oh, okay, I see. I need a circuit. Forgot about this. Let me quickly make a circuit. It's not a very difficult process. Any circuit will do. We're just going to use this cheap electric one. Then we'll need to program that electronic circuit. I'll just grab one of these things and some resistors real quick. There we go. I've got two circuits now. Perfect. Let's put one of these in my crafting window. That gives me the program circuit. Okay. Let's pull this little dude out and then right click. And I need it in configuration 1. Put this inside of the bending machine and let the bending begin. Sweet. I'm now getting metal plates 1 for 1 from ingots. That's definitely better than 2 for 1. So I'd say this is pretty fantabulous. All right, off to the next thing, which is going to be an LV conveyor module. I talked about this earlier. This can be used as a cover, and it will allow us to start pulling items out of our storage drawer and into our item network. But before it can do this, we've got to configure it using a screwdriver. We want to set it to import mode since we're importing things into our item conduits. You'll see that we are now filling up our dynamos with sugarcane. There we go. That's awesome. I no longer have to worry about putting fuel into our power system so long as the infinite fuel farm is pumping out sugarcane and our storage drawer isn't on empty. Our dynamos will continue to be fed consistently and we'll be producing RF in abundance. We'll then convert that RF into EU, empowering our machines, and while we may have to expand this later, right now we've got a sustainable power supply. The one concern I have though is what I said just a moment ago. What if our storage drawer fills up or goes empty? So I might want to get some upgrades for it. The good news is these upgrades look pretty cheap. It's just a frame drawer with some sticks around it for the base upgrade. Then I can take the base upgrade and combine it with some more sticks and my choice of an item for the tier of the upgrade that I want. Our choices are going to be coal, iron, gold, diamond, or emerald. I think for now, I'm going to go with the diamond upgrade. There's several others, but all we need is additional quantity, and I've got plenty of diamonds on hand, so might as well make use of some. All right, let's add our upgrade to it. There we go. And as we can see, we can hold plenty of sugarcane now, which is awesome. The third machine I want to get done is the compressor. It's really not much different to the other two. In fact, it's a little cheaper just taking 2 pistons instead of 4 motors, so that's awesome. I'll set this down right beside our current bending machine and get it hooked up with some more of our tin cabling. Now we can compress things like sugarcane into plant balls or nuggets into ingots, as well as many other things. Speaking of, let's go ahead and collect a little bit more rubber because, well, I wasted it earlier making tar, remember? I'm still kind of recovering from that. And I'm not going to lie, I'm a little scarred. Alright, I'm ready for the final push towards my alloy smelter and flight. This alloy smelter is actually one of the easier recipes that we've done so far today. I'll go ahead and get all the components out. Okay, that should be my last one. There is our alloy smelter. This machine's a bit power hungry, so I'm going to go ahead and put it down right back here near the power source. And now for the fun part. I get to fight the same demon I fought earlier, because I still don't know how to hook up GregTech wires. I've tried the wrench. I've tried the screwdriver. Still doesn't work. Maybe I need to try wire cutters. I don't think I'm going to be able to break it and just put it back in this time. Let's try that real quick. Yeah. Alright, I'm done. You know, I'm actually leaning more towards the idea of trying the wire cutters because this obviously isn't working. I'm going to go get wire cutters and just see if maybe that's how we fix this. Hey, it worked! Awesome! So with our alloy smelter now in place, if we take some gold and a little bit of silver, we should be able to make electrum. Let's throw this in here. There's the gold, and there it goes. Beautiful! I'm making alloys. That's a big deal, because not just electrum, but a lot of alloys are going to open up to us. The alloy smelter is huge for our progression. Now with that done, because we finished the compressor a little bit ago, I want to quickly go back and revisit the pulsating iron that we had earlier, because now we can make that GregTech ingot that we saw. If I quickly put these little pulsating nuggets in, we get back our GregTech version of a pulsating iron ingot. I should be able to stick this inside of the wire mill. There we go. And now that we're getting back 6 wires, we can go make item conduits. These are my favorite. And this stuff is the best. I'm going to use this to run my furnaces directly off of our sugarcane. Does this go on top or the back? I can't remember. I think it goes on top. Let's set this to always pull. Oh, nope. That's the wrong way. I need to put them on the backside. Like I said, this is going to pull directly out of the storage drawer and keep all of our furnaces full of fuel all the time. And that, my friends, is glorious. We should be good now. Let's see. Yeah, perfect. So item conduits are putting fuel into our furnaces. Beautiful. Let's get ourselves a jetpack, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to knock out these rods right quick because, realistically, these are the only thing holding us back. The rest of it's just kind of coasting. There's our 6 electrum rods. With those, we can make all of the reception coils that we need. It's time to go cash these bad boys in and get that jetpack. 1 flux capacitor. There we go. The jetpack is ours. Sweet, sweet victory. It's not charged yet, so let's go toss this into our battery buffer for a minute. There we go, charging right up. All right, flight has been achieved, boys and girls. There is an upgrade we can do to this so that we can get a little chest armor out of it. By simply making a few iron plates in our bender and combining those together as an iron armor upgrade, we'll get 5 points of armor on our jetpack. And I'll definitely take 5 body armor any day of the week. So just combine this here. Oh, didn't mean to put that in that box. That's going to give me wire, not plates. Let's put the iron ingots into the correct machine, JD. There we go. Five plates. And then if we craft these into an iron plate, can take said plate and put it with our jetpack. And that gives us a beautiful chest piece. Now, with our flux capacitor turned on, we can charge up the jetpack a lot more rapidly than we did in the battery box. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it. We've done it. Flight was achieved along with the start of our LV machines. With these machines at our disposal, our resources are now going to stretch a lot further, which is always a good thing. I hope you guys enjoyed this one as much as I enjoyed making it. As always, if you liked it, hit that like button. And if you'd like to see more like it, smash the sub button and join my community. The bell icon is available to get notifications. Be good to one another. I'll see you in the next one. Laters.